of Levi, the tribe of Benjamin, the tribe of Naphtali, the tribe of Asher, the tribe of Reuben, the tribe of Gad, whatever, But because of, as I keep mentioning, our disobedience to the Heavenly Father, we was unable to do that and brought this upon us, right? This is the book of Jeremiah. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. It says, "And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever." All right, so that was the Most High through the prophet Jeremiah, forefather Jeremiah, sent to tell Israel that because you disobeyed me, I'm going to cause you to discontinue from your heritage, right? So now all of Israel, the Nat Turners, the Black Power guys, all of them did not know that they were Hebrew Israelites. You understand what I'm saying? We did not know that we were Hebrew Israelites, and that discontinuing, it happened by way of this, getting our heritage literally beaten out of us, man. Being called other names except for who we originally are. And these other nations, they know who the sons of Jacob are. These other nations wasn't discontinued from our heritage. So what happened with these other nations, because Esau, Edom, the so-called white man is ruler right now, he put a covering cast, which the scriptures talk about that, he put a covering cast over all the people because he's in power right now. So he can call us black, he can call himself white, he can call the Japanese and the Chinese yellow, and all these other names, which that's not their appropriate titles or names. You understand what I'm saying? He can do all of that because he's in the power seat right now. But they wasn't truly discontinued from our heritage, They wasn't truly discontinued from their heritage, but we were. And these other nations know us. They know Jacob. That's why everywhere we go, that's why all these other races that we encounter, that's why they hate us so damn much. Because they know who we are. Like they give us the mean mug. They grill the fuck out of us. Because they know who we are. They know that we the special people. They know that we the most oppressed people on the planet. But they also know that we are the children of the living God. We are the children of the living power. But they hate us because they ain't us. You know what I'm saying? They hate us truly. They truly hate us, man.
And then when you can realize that, or at least take that in, and then you can see it in the real world, by looking at people, looking them in their eye, looking at their facial expressions.
Yup.
It's like proof right there. That's when realization hits you.
Yup. Exactly.
And this is happening all over the world.
Yes.
All over the planet.
Yes. Yup. Absolutely. That's why you got there's an expression. Well, as a matter of fact, even all throughout the New Testament, like the word Gentile or the term Greek and things of that nature, those Gentiles and those Greeks are not necessarily always specifically talking about Gentile, because the word Gentile means a heathen, right? Now, the heathens in the scriptures is talking about these other nations, right? But us, Israel, we've been scattered to all of, I know some little blots and things of that nature, but these other nations are like I said earlier, are not our people, but we've been scattered to them, right? So that's why you got individuals like Eminem, who I don't know what tribe he goes back to, but Eminem is an Israelite. You can receive it. Yeah, I know, right? It sounds crazy, but why do you think? Ask yourself this: why do you think, individuals like Eminem and some of these other tatted up, white boy rappers and even certain rock stars and things which Native Americans have heavily influenced, like these rock bands and shit like that. Some of these rock stars and shit like that are actually, Native Americans, going back to the tribe of Gad and Reuben. Michael Jackson is actually a so-called Native American. Michael Jackson, yep, I think his grandfather or something like that. Is a quote-unquote American Indian. I think he goes back to Reuben. In Seminole, India. I think he goes back to Reuben. But Michael Jackson is our people. Eminem, I don't know what tribe he come from, like I said. He's our people. Who else? You ever heard of John B?
White guy?
Yeah, he looked white, right? But he's
so-called white.
Yeah, but he
musician, R&B guy from the 90s.
Yeah, with that one song. I think he goes back to Ephraim. That's actually a brother. He goes back to Ephraim.
I'm smiling, not that I'm like ridiculing you like in my head. It's because I'm starting to notice and like realize like that it could be true.
Right.
You know, as far as I'm going, like I'm thinking,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Look, bro, it's in the curses, man. Like it's in the curses that we would look like these other nations. It was in the curses that we would be scattered to these other nations because of our punishment, because of our disobedience. You know what I'm saying? Let me get this just to prove it. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64. It says, "And the Lord Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even until the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." And that's exactly what happened to us. That's why, you know, our people are serving all of these other gods and false doctrines and philosophies that we actually don't come from, that we're not supposed to know. You feel me? And that's why, like, you got I think it was like even war, like when America was getting set up and things of that nature. You heard of the Buffalo Soldiers and shit, right? All right, so they would use us. They would use our people, you know. They would use the so-called Negroes, even some Native Americans and so-called Hispanics. They would use us, all right, and put us on the forefront of the lines to go fight against these other nations, man. You know, and what happens when a nation goes to war with another nation? You know, there's going to be some procreation. You know, so what? Some of us that survived, we ended up having sex with the women of those other nations. So we got seed all over the fucking place, man. We got seed all over the place. Like some of these, you ever heard of like K-pop and shit like that? These little Asians that be acting like niggas. That's because some of them are. That's because some of them actually are our people. You know, more particular among the tribe of Gad, the so-called Native Americans. You know, you got also not Zebulon, Manasseh, the so-called Cubans. You know, because you had a lot of our people who went off to war and fought against those people. And so what? We made babies with their women. You know, we made babies with the women of those nations, man. You know, so if you see like these Korean rappers, these South Korean rappers and so on and so forth, and singers that sound like R&B back in the days or whatever, a lot of those actually go back to Israelites, man. A lot of them are actually our people. A lot of them, you know. And going back to the situation with Eminem, look how much love he has gained in the quote unquote black community. Look how much they love him, man. Look how much they respect him. You know, he ain't no fucking culture vulture. This is his culture. This is where he comes from. He comes from Israel. You know, same thing with Bruce Lee. Same thing with Tina Marie. Same thing with Mariah Carey. Okay. Same thing with
Tina Marie.
She's an Israelite.
Is that like a white lady or so?
She looked like a white woman. Yeah, but her voice, when you hear her sing, she sounds like a so-called black woman. She sounds like an Israelite woman. Because our women, they're very. I'm not saying all of our women can sing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But
a
lot of them actually can.
Yeah,
a
lot. Yes.
I'm gonna look up Tina Marie.
Yeah. Nah, she got the voice of a sister. She got a beautiful singing voice, man. You know, but she goes back to she goes. I forgot what tribe she goes back to, and things of that nature. But whatchamacallit? Yeah, she's a sister, man. You know, Adele. I think she goes back to the tribe of Judah. You know, beautiful singing voices, man. Our people dominate in every aspect of life. It don't matter what it is, you know. But yeah, we got brothers and sisters all over the place, bro. And that's where that came from. I was talking about the Gentiles in the Greek in the New Testament. That doesn't always pertain to the other nations. That doesn't always pertain to the heathen, because our people was acting like Gentiles and Greeks. You know, we was acting like Gentiles.
We have that drunk walk.
You know.
Almost to it, like.
What was it? Asia Minor? Yeah. The Apostle Paul, the Apostle Barnabas, and other apostles, you know, were sent to go teach to Israel in Asia Minor. You know what I'm saying? To get them and stop them from serving other gods. You know, there's a Mexican settlement in the Philippines. So a lot of those Filipinos over there are actually so-called Mexicans. That's an article. You can look that up too, bro. You can look that up too. We got brothers and sisters everywhere.
Well, where's okay, so American Negro would be a Mexican.
So what?
Well, what would be a Mexican? What is
so it's a car. It's a little scratched up.
Oh, Aztecs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the so-called Aztecs. Yep. I gotta get new signs. I gotta get new signs. You know, I don't know when it's gonna happen. I just gotta get new sounds. But the tribe of Issachar, Yashashkar, which is his name is actually Noman Omen. It's funny as hell. I'll tell you about it in a second. But the tribe of Issachar is the so-called Mexicans and Aztecs and things of that nature. There is a settlement over there. Like they were shipped over there to the Philippines, and they developed a settlement over there. So you got a lot, like I said, a lot of those Filipinos, a lot of them are Israelites. A lot of them are Israelites. You know, in Issachar, Yashashkar, in the Hebrew, it means he is hired. You follow? He is hired. So why is the so-called Mexicans call us name means he is hired? Because when you look at these Mexicans today, are they not the most employed people? Even though these so-called white people get mad because they come over here and they take all the jobs, but are they not some of the most hired people, the most employed people? You know, they come over there, they get hired, man, because everybody knows Mexicans for working. All they do is work, and they do their jobs efficiently. You know, the ones who was building most of the periods is so-called Mexicans. Yeah, yep. You was telling me about the pyramids over here. You know, pyramids in South America. It wasn't only in Egypt where pyramids was built.
Pyramids in South America.
Yeah.
Well, most of South America, but yeah, still in America.
Yeah, like when you look at yep, absolutely. Like when you look at like Mayan temples and Incan temples and shit like that, our people built all of those, bro. Like what is it, Machu Picchu? You see the layout of that land? I think it's Machu Picchu. I think that's over there in Peru, Machu Picchu, and things of that nature. But when you look at the layout of that land, like our people did that, man. Our people, we know how to create, and we used to create. More in particular, Issachar, the so-called Mexicans, the Aztecs. They would like look at the stars because they had an understanding about the distance, like with the stars and things of that nature, and they would build like pyramids and certain structures based on the alignment of the stars. You know, the so-called Mexicans is good at reading, like the signs of the times. Like knowing the phases of the moon, things of that nature. Issachar, the so-called Mexicans, was actually really good with that. And I asked the Mexican about it. Not bringing up the Bible to him yet, but I asked him. I was just like, yeah, I heard Mexicans was like good with like, knowing the times of the stars and things of that, like the time of day and the things of the moon. And he was just like, yeah, that's true. He confessed it. He was just like, yeah, that's true. We are good with that. So it just everything makes sense. Everything makes sense. But yeah, that was really it. Let me I'm gonna get the scripture and then I'm gonna have to roll out. I'm gonna get this one last scripture. This is the book of Romans, chapter 15, and this is why getting involved in the scriptures is so important, because when you read about the different historical accounts, when you read about the miracles, all of the acts that happen throughout the scriptures, you get a better understanding of who you are as a person, who you are as an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? But this is the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. It says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope." For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning. All right, so that's why it's important to, do our digging. The etymologies we was talking about earlier. Be diligent. We gotta be diligent. We gotta just continue to get that understanding of who we are as Israelites and what happened to us and what's going to happen to us, because we're about to inherit glory. So that's why we're supposed to read the scriptures and look for that faith and that hope that's going to come to us, that reward for us being in this captivity. More importantly, serving Yahweh Shai, serving Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, the Father and the Son. Because if the Spirit is on you, to abide, learn about the Lord, bro. Like I said, just continue to do your research. Continue to ask questions. It says that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. And that really breaks itself down. So through the comfort in the scriptures, reading all the historical accounts and stories and miracles, we want to have that hope. You understand what I'm saying? All right, but that was the end of my lesson. All right, Lord's willing, Akin Wagwathian, brothers and sisters, was edified through the Spirit. I want to say, Kol Hola Yimla, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha Kudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well for teaching me the truth. And salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.